And I mean, I'll just open the floor here. Where should we start? Because I believe you have not moved since the start of the tournament, and you've been taking in every second of these games. So I'll let you open it up here. Where do you want to start?
Well, let's just quickly, because like we actually have like a pretty awesome game plan here, and talking about the Wild prospects who are participating. There's obviously some MNCAA, Minnesota College Hockey players and NHL prospects who are playing, and then a ton of 2024 draft eligible players who some have been playing really good, some we're like still looking for and seeing if they're even there. But first of all, I want to start with two things. Relegation is now one game, not a 3-game series. I want to hear your thoughts on that, because that really, for the teams like Switzerland, who sometimes take like the first game off and then like, in the bank 2 and 3, solidify their position again next year. This is going to be tougher for those teams, especially where like Norway and Germany are looking as good as they are. So let's just start with that. Like, what are your thoughts on the IIHF changing that rule?
Yeah, I mean, it raises the stakes, which we love, but I mean, it's basically a foregone conclusion just based on how the groups ended up. I mean, Latvia, they're going to be relegated, even though I like a lot of those players. They always play really well at this tournament. This year, not so much. These first 2 games have been rough. So, I mean, I would have been shocked if any other team that wasn't Latvia was ended up getting relegated this year, which really sucks again, because like also it doesn't matter where this tournament is, the fucking Latvia fans always show up, great numbers, and they are absolute lunatics the entire game. They'll be losing 8-0, and they are still in the stands going ballistic.
Dude, they were in my post-game live chat. They're in my post-game live chat being like, you didn't talk about this guy. I'm like, bro, did you not watch the game? Like, I told them they lasted 1 period and looked good in that. That's all I can say.
No, I mean, there's just the way the groups ended up this year. Like, they were just destined to pretty much get their dicks kicked in, which is exactly what's going on. But
they did play the top 2 teams in the tournament, though, in Sweden and Canada. Arguably the top 2 teams in the tournament to start, though, and they looked bad today, but like I didn't think they looked horrendous against Sweden. I actually like praise Sweden for being like, oh shit, these guys can actually skate with us. Let's like just full on puck hog and tire them out, and it like worked perfectly, because by the third, Latvia's done.
Yeah, and I mean, Latvia's MO every tournament is they're going to work harder than you. Yep. They are the hardest working team in this tournament year in, year out. And I mean, realistically, we can just jump right into it then. Like, they were given an absolute gift of a start against Sweden, with Salmonson getting ejected like 10 seconds into the game.
Bitch move, dude. Bitch move, too.
I think that was the classic, like, Team Sweden, tournaments in Sweden. He's all fired up and just can't help himself. Immediately gets ejected, puts Latvia on a 5-minute power play, and Latvia just cannot get anything going at all. Can't get started, can't get anything on the board. Sweden gets their first power play, immediately scores. And then I think they scored like 2 other power play goals in the first period, I think. And from there, it was just over. They had to if they had any chance against Sweden in this game, or in game 1, they needed to capitalize on that power play. And I mean, they couldn't have even come farther away. They couldn't have had a worse start after just being given a gift like that. So it was kind of written in the I mean, once it wasn't just that they didn't score, it was just like the lack of like any real good chances.
Yeah.
They pretty much cut shut down.
The offense gap between them and Sweden is huge, far from what it was last year, where, I think that was mostly Sweden shooting themselves in the foot the entire tournament. I mean, they didn't really show up kind of like the Americans last year either, but holy shit, has Sweden showed up this year. We'll get into that more in a bit here.